Welcome to 2025, and let me tell you something right here, right now. This can be the year that changes everything if you let it. Not because it's a fresh start, not because the calendar flipped over, not because the stars magically aligned for you. No, because tonight, you decide to live differently. You decide to think differently. You decide to rise above the noise, above the fear, above the habits that have kept you playing small for way too long. Because here's the truth about the people you admire. The people who seem unstoppable, the ones who win year after year no matter what life throws at them, they're not better than you. They're not luckier than you. They don't have anything you can't create. They simply live by a different formula, the 1% formula. While everyone else is waiting to feel ready, the 1% take action. While everyone else is reacting to life, the 1% design it. While everyone else is addicted to comfort, the 1% are obsessed with growth. That's what I'm going to show you tonight. How to build the 1% mindset and make it your daily breakthrough formula for 2025, because this is not about motivation that lasts for a few hours. This is about identity. This is about becoming the kind of person who wins, because you can't not win. It's just who you are now. So if you're ready to stop waiting, if you're ready to stop wishing, if you're ready to stop watching other people live the life you know you deserve, then tonight is your line in the sand. We're going to walk through this formula step by step, and you're going to leave here with a daily plan to rise above the 99% and start creating results you didn't even think were possible. You don't have to know how yet. You just have to decide, this is my time. I'm ready to step into the 1%. So, are you ready? Are you ready to break through? Are you ready to finally become the person 2025 was waiting for you to become? Then let's go. This is your 1% mindset, daily breakthrough formula. And it starts now. Here's where it all begins. Every single one of you in this room or watching this right now has one thing in common with the most successful people on earth. You all get 24 hours in a day, but here's the difference. The 99% let their day happen to them. The 1% happen to their day. And it starts in the morning, because how you start your day is how you live your life. If you roll out of bed late, grab your phone and start reacting to everyone else's agenda, congratulations, you just gave your power away before you even brushed your teeth. But if you wake up with intention, if you wake up and take command of your energy, your body, your mind before the world starts screaming for your attention, that's how you build momentum. That's how you build confidence. That's how you build yourself. So here's what I teach my clients, world champions, Fortune 500 CEOs, people just like you who want to dominate their lives, own your first hour, because when you win the first hour of the day, you're already ahead of 99% of the world. Doesn't have to be perfect, doesn't have to be fancy, but it does have to be intentional. Here's a formula you can use starting tomorrow. Get up earlier than you think you can. Prove to yourself you're in charge. Move your body even for 10 to 15 minutes. Energy is created, not given. Feed your mind with something positive, something inspiring, something that reminds you of your power. Set your intention. Decide what kind of person you're going to be today and what one thing you'll accomplish no matter what. Because the 1% know, you don't just wake up and hope you feel good. You wake up and create how you feel. The first hour of your day belongs to you. It doesn't belong to your notifications. It doesn't belong to your boss. It doesn't belong to your kids, your friends, your emails. It belongs to you. Because if you can't give yourself 1 hour, how do you expect to give yourself the life you say you want? So tonight, set your alarm. Decide what your first hour tomorrow will look like and keep the promise you make to yourself. Because when you win your morning, you win your day. And when you win enough days, you win your life. Let me ask you something. When's the last time you gave something, anything, your full attention? Or most people can't even make it 5 minutes without checking their phone. We live in a world where distractions aren't just normal. They're designed to addict you. Notifications, noise, opinions, scrolling, it's endless. And then we wonder, why am I not getting anywhere? The answer is simple. You're not focused. You've let the world hijack your mind. You've let everyone else's agenda drown out your own. But here's what the 1% know. Focus is the superpower of the future. And if you can control your focus, you can control your life. Because here's the truth. You cannot build the life you want if your energy is scattered. You cannot solve big problems if you're stuck in a cycle of reacting to small ones. You cannot hear your own instincts if your mind is full of everyone else's noise. So here's what the 1% do. They guard their mental bandwidth like it's gold, because it IS. They don't say yes to everything, because every yes to the wrong thing is a no to the right thing. They eliminate distractions, apps, tabs, people, anything that doesn't align with their vision. They set clear targets every single day. and don't stop until they hit them. And here's the most important thing, they practice being present. Because presence is where power lives. When you're fully here, fully locked in, fully engaged, that's when you access the part of you that is limitless. So tonight, I want you to decide. I am done letting everyone else steal my focus. I am done letting the trivial distract me from the transformational. I am done letting noise drown out my own voice. Start small. Turn off your notifications, or pick one thing to accomplish each morning, and don't stop until it's done. Schedule quiet time just for you, to think, to breathe, to dream. Because the 99%, they're busy all day, but accomplish nothing. The 1%, they focus all day and change everything. So take your power back, take your focus back, and start channeling it into the life you actually want. Because when your mind is fully yours again, there's nothing you can't build. Let me tell you something most people don't want to hear, and it's the reason why they stay stuck. You don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your habits every single time. Because here's the truth, motivation, it comes and goes. You feel fired up tonight because we're here together, the energy's high, and the vision is alive in you. But tomorrow, next week, that feeling will fade. And when it does, the 99% stop, or they say, I'm just not feeling it today. I'll pick it back up tomorrow. I'll wait until it feels right again. And that's why nothing changes. But the 1% don't rely on feelings. They rely on discipline. They don't wait to feel ready. They do what needs to be done no matter how they feel. Because here's the reality, it's not about being perfect, it's about being consistent. The 1% show up when it's boring. They show up when they're tired, or they show up when nobody's clapping for them anymore because they know the results live on the other side of doing it anyway. So how do you build that kind of discipline? Start small. Commit to one promise to yourself every morning and keep it. Stack wins. Don't try to change your whole life overnight. Just get better by 1% every day. Remove temptation. If you don't want to eat it, don't bring it home. If you don't want to waste hours scrolling, delete the app. Stop negotiating with yourself. When the alarm goes off, get up. When it's time to work, focus. When it's time to move, move. Keep the bigger picture in mind. Discipline isn't punishment, it's freedom. Because here's the most important thing I can tell you tonight. Your feelings are not facts. Your excuses are not your truth. And your discipline is your freedom. You want confidence? Build it by keeping promises to yourself. You want momentum? Build it by showing up when it's hard. You want freedom? Build it by being disciplined today so your future is bigger than your past. So tonight, say it with me, I am done breaking promises to myself. I am done quitting when it's hard. I am done letting feelings dictate my future. I choose discipline, and I keep choosing it every single day. Because in the end, discipline isn't about control, it's about love. It's about loving yourself enough to do what's best for you, even when it's hard. And that's what the 1% do. Let me tell you a hard truth. Most people don't like to face, no matter how good you get, no matter how disciplined you are, no matter how much you plan, you're still going to get knocked down. Life will punch you in the face. You will fail sometimes, people will let you down, and you will make mistakes that hurt like hell. But here's what separates the 1% from the 99%. The 1% don't stay down. They get back up every single time. The 99% let failure define them. They fall once and tell themselves, I guess this just isn't for me. They take one rejection and say, see, I knew I wasn't good enough. They hit one roadblock and turn around. But the 1%, they understand that falling is part of forward. They know failure isn't the opposite of success. It's the path to it. They don't see mistakes as proof they're not worthy. They see them as lessons. They see them as training. They see them as fuel. Because the 1% know you only lose if you quit. So when you fall, and you will, here's what to do. Stop blaming yourself. Own it, but don't shame yourself. Ask, what can I learn from this? Or write it down. Get back up immediately before your mind starts building stories about why you can't. Take another step, even if it's small, in the direction you want to go. And remind yourself, every great success story you've ever admired started with someone who fell and refused to stay down. Let me ask you something. What would your life look like if you refused to let failure stop you? What if every single time you fell, you got back up faster, smarter, stronger? What if you stopped seeing setbacks as the end and started seeing them as the test? Because that's all this is, a test. To see if you're serious, to see if you're willing to keep going, to see if you believe you're worth it. So tonight, say it with me, I don't break. I bend and I bounce back. No failure can stop me. No setback can defeat me, because nothing and no one has the power to keep me down but me. And you are not staying down anymore, not now, not ever, because you are 1%. and the 1% never stop. Here's something you need to understand about success. It's not just about how high you climb, it's about who you become along the way. Because here's what happens to most people. When they finally start winning, they lose their hunger. They get comfortable. They start believing their own hype. And the second they stop working, stop learning, stop growing, they fall, because the same discipline it took to build your dream is the same discipline it takes to keep it. The 1% know this, and that's why they live by 2 rules every single day. Stay hungry, stay humble. So what does that mean? Stay hungry means you never stop striving. No matter how much you've already accomplished, you keep asking yourself, what's next? How can I serve bigger? How can I grow stronger? How can I help more? Because comfort kills dreams and entitlement kills greatness. The 1% know that yesterday's wins don't count today. They wake up every morning hungry to prove to themselves that they're not done yet, and they never will be. But just as important, stay humble. Because success without humility is ugly. And the second you think you're better than anyone else, you've already lost. The 1% remember where they came from. They remember what it felt like to be the underdog. They treat people with respect, even when no one's watching. They keep learning from everyone around them because they know the moment you think you know it all is the moment you stop growing. So tonight, ask yourself, am I still hungry or have I gotten soft? Am I still humble or have I started to believe I'm above the work, above the lessons, above the people around me? Because your future depends on both. So say it with me, I'm hungry because my work is not done. I'm humble because my work does not make me better than anyone else, and I will live like the 1% every single day. Stay hungry, stay humble, and you'll stay unstoppable. You've heard the saying before, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. But let me tell you the full truth, it's even deeper than that. You don't just pick up the habits of the people you're around, you pick up their mindset. You pick up their energy, you pick up their expectations of what's possible. And here's what most people never stop to realize. The people you're around every day are either pulling you forward or dragging you backward. There is no neutral. If you spend your time with complainers, with victims, with people who settle for mediocrity, you will start to see the world through their eyes. You will start lowering your own standards to match theirs. And you'll wake up one day wondering, why does my life feel so small? But the 1%? They understand this principle. You cannot live a 1% life surrounded by a 99% circle. So here's what the 1% do differently. They audit their circle regularly, asking, who is helping me grow? Who is holding me back? They spend time with people who inspire them, not just people who validate them. They find mentors, coaches, and peers who have already achieved what they're chasing. They're willing to outgrow people even when it's uncomfortable, because their future is more important than someone else's feelings. And here's the hard truth. Not everyone who started this journey with you is meant to finish it with you. Some people love the old version of you, the one who didn't know her worth. Some people loved you as long as you stayed small. And the moment you start rising, they start resenting. That's okay. You can love them and still choose to move forward without them. You can be grateful for who they were in your story and still close that chapter. So tonight, I challenge you to do this. Write down the 5 people you spend the most time with. Next to each name, write one word, lift or limit, and then say it with me. I choose to build a 1% circle. Even if that means letting go of what feels comfortable. I choose to surround myself with people who remind me of who I'm becoming, not who I used to be. Because your environment matters, your circle matters, and your future deserves better than mediocrity. The 1% don't just level up their life, they level up their circle. And that's what you're going to do, starting tonight. Let me tell you something I've seen in thousands of people. Most people fail not because they don't have the talent, not because they don't have the opportunity, not even because they don't have the time. They fail because they're still trying to live as a watered-down version of who they really are. They dim their light, they tone it down. They keep themselves small because they're afraid of what other people will think if they actually showed up fully. Or sound familiar? You worry you'll be too much if you speak your truth. You worry you'll lose people if you stand in your power. You worry people will judge you, mock you, misunderstand you. But here's the reality. People are already judging you, so you might as well live as you. Because the 1% don't apologize for who they are. They don't hide their gifts. They don't pretend to be average to make others feel comfortable. They decide, this is who I am, this is what I stand for, and this is how I show up every single day. Because here's what happens when you don't own your identity. You invite everyone else to tell you who you're supposed to be. And then you wake up years from now wondering why your life doesn't even feel like yours anymore. But when you claim your identity, when you live it loud, the right people find you, the right opportunities find you, the right energy flows to you, because the universe doesn't reward fake, it rewards real. So tonight, I want you to answer this. Who am I, really? Who have I been afraid to become? Who have I been hiding all this time? Write her down, speak her out loud, and then make yourself a promise. I will no longer shrink myself to fit into someone else's comfort zone. I will no longer betray myself to keep the peace. I will no longer apologize for being who I really am, because you don't attract the life you want by pretending to be someone else. You attract it by owning exactly who you already are and living it out loud. So say it with me, I am her. And starting tonight, I refuse to hide her anymore. The 1% don't just dream of their highest self. They live her fully, boldly, unapologetically. And that's what you're here to do. Here's something I need you to hear tonight and really take in. The 1% you admire, the people you look at and say, how do they keep winning? How do they always perform? How are they so confident? It's not magic. It's not luck. It's not even talent. It's this, they kept showing up long before anyone was watching. See, most people in the 99% are addicted to external validation. They only do the work when someone else is clapping. They only put in the effort when there's recognition, when there's applause, when there's a reward waiting. But the 1%, they understand the truth. The work you do in the dark is what earns you the light. They showed up when no one was cheering. They showed up when nobody believed in them yet. They showed up when the results weren't immediate because they trusted that consistency compounds, and that's where your greatness is built, in the quiet moments. When nobody sees you wake up at 5 a.m., when nobody notices you choosing discipline over comfort, when nobody claps when you say no to what doesn't serve you, when nobody thanks you for staying late to finish what you started, that's where character is forged. That's where confidence is earned. That's where the future is created, long before the world sees it. So tonight, decide, I don't need anyone else to believe in me first. I don't need applause to feel proud of myself. I don't need to be seen to know my worth, because I'm building myself for me, not for them. This is the part that feels hard. This is the part where you want to quit because it seems like nobody notices how hard you're working. But this is also the part where most people stop, and you won't, because the 1% show up when it's boring. They show up when it's lonely. They show up when no one's watching, and that's exactly why everyone notices them later. So say it with me, I will keep showing up even when nobody's watching, because my future deserves my discipline, because I believe in her even if nobody else does yet. Stay consistent in private so you can shine in public. That's what the 1% do. And now, that's who you are. Here's a lesson most people never learn. And it's why even the ones who make it still feel empty. You can have all the money, all the status, all the achievements in the world, and still feel like something's missing. Why? Because you were only building for you. And you forgot the most important truth. We are wired to grow, but we are built to give. The 1% understand something the 99% don't. Success without significance is hollow. It's not enough just to win. It's not enough just to get ahead. It's not enough just to prove everyone wrong. At some point, you realize it's not just about how high you climb, it's about how many people you lift while you're climbing. That's where fulfillment lives. Because here's what the 1% know. Every lesson you've learned was never just for you. It was so you could teach someone else. Every struggle you overcame wasn't just about you getting through. It was so you could inspire someone else to keep going. Every gift you've been given isn't just for your own benefit. It's so you can serve others with it. So tonight, ask yourself, who am I becoming this person for? Who can I help? Who can I inspire? Whose life can I change by being brave enough to change my own? Because the ultimate purpose of your growth isn't just to build a bigger life, it's to build a bigger impact. When you walk in the room as the 1%, you change the energy for everyone else. When you choose discipline, you inspire the people around you to do the same. When you refuse to quit, you show others what's possible. And when you live as your highest self, you give other people permission to live as theirs. So say it with me, I am building my life not just for me, but for everyone who will be lifted because I refuse to stay small. I am not just here to succeed, I am here to serve. And that's what makes me unstoppable. You want to live like the 1%? Then make it bigger than you. Because the world doesn't just need more successful people, it needs more people who care enough to make their success count. And that's exactly who you're becoming. This is it. The final step, and it may just be the most important one of all, because here's the truth about this journey you're on. It doesn't end. There's no finish line. There's no point where you arrive and get to say, okay, I'm done, I'm complete, I've made it. Because the 1% mindset isn't about a destination. It's about who you decide to be every single day. That's the difference between the 1% and the 99%. The 99% treat growth like a sprint. They push hard for a while and then collapse back into old habits. But the 1%, they understand this is a lifetime practice. This is an identity you choose over and over, day after day. You don't wake up once and say, I'm disciplined now. You wake up every morning and become disciplined again. You don't work hard once and say, I've earned my future now. You work hard every day because you love who you're becoming in the process. And you don't take care of yourself, your mind, your relationships once. You nurture them every single day because that's what living in the 1% demands. So here's what I want you to understand tonight. The 1% mindset isn't about being perfect. It's not about never slipping, never doubting, never failing. You're human. You will. But you will also get back up. You will also recommit. You will also remember why you started and keep going, because the 1% mindset is a choice you make today and tomorrow and the next day. So tonight, you decide. I will never stop becoming. I will never stop learning. I will never stop growing. I will never stop raising the standard for what's possible in my life. That is who you are now. That is what you've claimed tonight. The person you were when you walked in, she's already gone. And the person you're becoming, she's just getting started. So tomorrow morning when you wake up, say it out loud and mean it. I am the 1%. And today I prove it again, because this isn't about what you did yesterday. It's about what you'll do now and now and now, because you are the 1%, and the 1% never stop. Look at me and listen to me closely. This is not just another motivational moment. This is your line in the sand. You do not need anyone else's permission to rise. You do not need anyone else's applause to keep going. And you sure as hell do not need to wait until you feel ready. Because the only thing standing between you and the life you know you're capable of is a decision. Tonight, make that decision. Say it with me right now. I will not go back. I will not shrink to fit someone else's comfort zone. I will not apologize for wanting more. I am 1% and I live it every single day, and then prove it. Wake up tomorrow and take one bold, scary, imperfect step. Send the message, do the workout, have the conversation, write the plan, block the distraction, say no to what doesn't serve you. Do it even if no one's watching. Do it even if you're scared. Do it because your future deserves it. When you get home tonight, take 10 minutes just for you. Grab a notebook and write a letter. Not to your past self, not to anyone who hurt you, but to your future self. Start with this sentence, I'm proud of you because, and then finish the letter. Tell her what you're doing today to make her life possible. Tell her what you refuse to tolerate anymore. Tell her how you're becoming her, step by step, starting tonight. And keep that letter somewhere you can see it every morning, because she's counting on you to show up for her. And when you walk out of here tonight, say this to yourself over and over until it sinks into your bones. I am not here to fit in. I am here to rise. I am not here to be average. I am here to lead. I am not here to quit when it's hard. I am here to keep becoming. I am 1% and I prove it every single day, because the 1% don't just talk about what's possible, they create it. And so will you. This is your time, this is your formula, and this is your year. Now go claim it and never look back.